going on, everyone? Hoping you're having a good week. Shout out to any new subscribers, and thanks for everyone who comments on my videos, gives your feedback, shares your opinion on the topics. I do enjoy that and appreciate all the support for my little channel, so thank you guys. Today I want to talk about one of the most recent episodes of the Happy Sad podcast, Happy Sad Confused podcast. Sorry, Henry Cavill had an interview on there, and I listened to it last night. So I just want to share some of the points that he shared about the Snyder Cut. Of course, we know that now, right now he is doing a lot of interviews to promote Enola Holmes for Netflix. And of course, when he does these interviews, Superman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, of course, those topics are going to come up inevitably, no matter what movie he's promoting, right? So, which they mentioned in the podcast during the interview, like there's no way you can do an interview about really anything without that coming up somehow. So, I listened to the whole thing. He did talk about other topics besides Zack Snyder's Justice League, but they did spend a decent amount of time discussing it, and it's just nice to hear Henry Cavill express so much excitement and support for the movie. I'm not surprised that he's excited or supportive of it. It's just nice to hear it coming from him, because a lot of people were skeptical during the whole Snyder Cut movement about, and even critical about, his lack of support for the movie. However, a lot of the videos I talked about this in, I mentioned that he has to be very cautious and thoughtful about the way he expresses, I think he just kind of stayed a little bit hands off with the Snyder Cut movement because of the sensitivity with his role as Superman in the DCEU. Hopefully now that the Zack Snyder's movie is coming out, and it's not under WB, it's under HBO Max, hopefully, now he feels a little bit more freedom, obviously, to kind of express his support and excitement for it, which it seems that way so far. I think as far as questions about Superman and making another movie for Superman and things like that, I think he still maybe has to be a little bit more vague about those kinds of questions. However, like I said, I was really pleased for a lot of I just like listening to him talk about Zack Snyder, his appreciation and his admiration for Zack Snyder. He talked about how much of a visual storyteller he is, how great he is at telling a story through visuals in the movie, in all of his movies, and that he, they mentioned that he really sets the bar high for filmmakers, people who are aspiring to be filmmakers, and Henry Cavill mentioned that he takes that with him whatever job he is doing at the time, that what he has learned from working with Zack Snyder, he carries that with him throughout his career. And of course, yes, Henry Cavill did have other roles before Superman, but Superman really, as they mentioned in the interview, catapulted his career to the next level. And just give him just a huge boost. And of course, after Superman, then the roles really started picking up for him. So I really like listening to him talk about his admiration for Zack Snyder as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, and that he's very excited to see the movie and to see how these visuals are told and expressed. And he was talking about how it is very important that Zack Snyder be able to show and tell his vision for the movie, and that for any storyteller, filmmaker, it's important that they are able to show their vision of the story. He kind of used an analogy that he was just a chariot on the train, Henry Cavill was, and that Zack Snyder is the train, and that it's important that train reach its station, as it's his right as the storyteller, as the filmmaker, to show his true vision. And I like that he explained it that way. It's that it's his right to do that because they hired him to do that. And then they kind of just took it away. And speaking about Warner Brothers, obviously not HBO Max. And he goes into detail about, portraying these iconic characters and characters that are based off of books and, comic books, and characters that people are very attached to and have idealistic expectations for, that it's kind of a double-edged sword because you can't please everyone, and that he does consider himself a very details-oriented person when it comes to lore and things of that nature, and that he's like saying, I just want to see a good movie, I'm excited for it. They did ask him, since we're getting 4 hours now, did you shoot that much footage? Do you remember shooting that much footage way back when? And he said, well, of course I didn't personally. He didn't, because his character is not in the entire movie. Obviously, we know what happened with Superman, and he's not from start to finish in the movie. So, but that, obviously he is excited to see what they are adding in post-production and, this new production that's going to happen. I made a video about that yesterday. If you haven't seen that, you can check that out to kind of clarify what's happening with that as far as additional photography for Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then he was kind of making some jokes about like growing out a mustache just for the event of the movie coming out and putting a Band-Aid on it and stuff like that. So, of course, there was a lot of fun moments listening to the podcast and laughs and jokes. And I just wanted to kind of talk about that. Listening to Henry Cavill and Zack Snyder in particular talk about this and talk about Superman and talk about Justice League, it's just so refreshing to have them back in this world of DCEU. And hopefully sometime in the near future we will be listening to him talk about coming back as Superman again. I did have a recent video about the current rumors surrounding that as well. If you haven't watched that video, of course these rumors have come out a couple of times since Zack Snyder's Justice League was announced, but I really hope that there's some truth to it, and I'm not ready to just have him. I mean, if they include him in, the Black Adam movie, and if Zack Snyder's Justice League continues beyond the 4 episodes, which I think it will, of course it's going to be awesome to see all of them come back, for more episodes than that. But I really do want another solo Superman movie. And, if that wasn't their plan, if that was not Zack Snyder's plan from the beginning, when he started Man of Steel, if he just wanted his arc to be, over Man of Steel, BVS, and then a couple Justice League movies, then that's fine. But if they did have some plan in the beginning to have another Superman movie, then I hope that happens. We know we're getting another Wonder Woman movie. We were supposed to get it a long time ago, but of course it's been delayed a couple times. And we know we're going to have another Aquaman movie. We know Shazam is already getting another movie. And so, I'm definitely excited to see The Flash, Black Adam, these other solo movies. Hopefully something happens with Cyborg. But, sorry, I'm kind of going off on a tangent. But going back to it, Superman started off this universe, and like I said, it's just really cool to hear him finally be able to express his support and excitement for the movie, and not kind of just have to sit on the sidelines and, not be able to say anything about it. Like I said, people were getting upset that he wasn't really saying anything when other cast members were. But like I said, their positions in their roles at the time they were in different positions for their roles at the time. So they think they just had a little bit more freedom to kind of express their opinion on that. And now that's changed. So yeah, I think, of course, we're all excited to see him back in the black suit. And it's cool that he shares the excitement. And he always makes a point, anytime he's asked about it, he always makes a point to make it clear that it's important that Zack Snyder is able to share his vision. And he also said what I really liked: whether you agree with it or not, it's important that it's his right as the filmmaker, as the storyteller, to share his vision. And one of the things that was so wrong and low about what Warner Brothers did is that not only did they went and change everything about the movie, but they made it seem as though it was Zack's decisions and Zack's changes that he wanted to make to the movie, which obviously is not true. So, with the reshoots and the changes being made, they made it seem like they were just doing what Zack wanted them to do and what he wants to do. No, you don't do that. And then really the studio and probably Jeff Johns, they're the ones back there pulling the strings and making it seem like it's Zack Snyder's decisions that are being made and changes that are, no, that's wrong. That's so wrong. Even if they had brought in another, they had to bring in another director to finish the movie because of the circumstances, then okay, if you are going to stick to his vision and what he wanted to do, then do that. If you're not going to, then be honest about it. But they weren't. And so they just made everything a whole lot worse. And, they tried to save face, and obviously that backfired. So now we are getting an uncompromised version, which I'm totally excited for. And I know I always start rambling, but thanks for watching. Yeah. Cool to see Henry Cavill showing support. And of course, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and we'll see you next time.